For more than 200 years, history buffs and treasure seekers have been drawn to Oak Island, a small island close to Nova Scotia. The Lagena brothers and their team have been looking for the island's mysteries, including the finding of little gold in the streams. The brothers' motivation has been the notion that there may be long-forgotten hidden treasures on the island, include an antique handcrafted stairway, a hidden underwater passage with odd inscriptions and carvings, and gold traces in the water. The team has discovered more intriguing items like old coins, carved stones, and other ancient objects that give them new clues about life on the island many years ago. The discovery of gold and wood from deep underground has given the team real proof that there might be treasure on the island. Of course, we're going to investigate the so-called flood tunnel booby trap system. Tell me which way you want to go. The team's resolve and camaraderie have kept them focused even when the ground is challenging to dig. The discovery of Oak Island's darkest and deepest secret ushers in a new era of exploration. Oak Island is not just about treasure. It has left its mark on history with various cultures and people passing through over the centuries. The Lagena brothers and their group set out on a protracted and challenging quest to discover Oak Island's mysteries. Despite challenges, the team's perseverance and commitment enabled them to unearth more hints and deepen their relationship. After the initial discovery of gold traces in the water gave them new hope and inspired them to explore every square inch of the island. The team continued to look for more clues, holding on to the hope of discovering secrets that had been kept hidden for generations. Despite the difficulties, they remained focused on comprehending the stories and solving the riddles, proving that some legends might be true because they were somewhat cautious about what they dumped in there. Another surprise came when they tested wood found deep underground, revealing they were more modern, while others think they served ceremonial reasons. Treasure hunters' creations. Another intriguing. What is amazing is that you're looking at history correctly. The wooden structures and platforms found under the water suggest serious engineering efforts on the island, and some experts believe they were part of earlier efforts to dig for treasure. The discovery in the early 20th century was the construction of a cofferdam at Smith's Cove by treasure hunters. The dam was intended to keep water out so workers could dig in underwater areas. Others question whether they were intended to conceal or safeguard something of value. Over the years, researchers have uncovered historical records and made many other discoveries about Oak Island, a buried treasure. Early explorers and treasure hunters' maps, journals, and records offer important hints about the island's history. They describe bold engineering endeavors, setbacks, and excavations. Conflicting information in some documents leads to various hypotheses and inquiries. An ancient stairway that connected visitors to the island centuries ago was one of the most exciting discoveries. Another exciting discovery was a secret underwater tunnel with odd carvings and symbols. Look, if this is a tunnel, it's an epiphany. These markings on the ball foundation appear to be hints about Oak Island's history, and each new finding has increased the team's desire to carry out additional research. The team realized that even the most difficult obstacles could be overcome with perseverance and hard work after making a significant breakthrough when gold particles were discovered in wood samples taken from deep holes they dug in the ground. This discovery transformed the island's legends into a genuine search for something valuable. The Lagena brothers and their group never lost up on discovering the truth. Their mutual trust and purpose have strengthened their relationship, enabling them to overcome any obstacle and carry on with their search for Oak Island's hidden treasures. The Lagena brothers and their group have been putting in endless effort to learn the secrets of Oak Island, a mysterious Caribbean island. They have found pottery fragments and historical artifacts, and each new discovery has increased their optimism. By carefully examining and testing the items they find, the team has gathered strong evidence that supports their theories about the island's history. This approach has validated their efforts and kept them on the right track. The team's belief in the possibility of success has never wavered as they continue to search for the treasure. One of the most important aspects of their search has been scientific testing of their finds, which has helped validate their theories about the island's past. A major turning point in their journey was the discovery of wood and gold samples from the island, which validated their beliefs and gave them newfound vigor. Since then, they have kept searching the island for hints about its lengthy buried past. Despite the difficulties they encounter working as a team with specialists from all around the world, including historians, the team has persisted in their mission to reveal the island's hidden stories. Metallurgists and archaeologists have been essential to their advancement. Their efforts have revealed fresh hints that have contextualized the island's untold tales. Finally, the Lagena brothers and their group have been committed to employing advanced techniques to examine the artifacts discovered on Oak Island in order to reveal the island's secrets. The crew at Oak Island has been putting in endless effort to unearth the island's little-known past and culture. As they continue to explore, they find new methods and approaches to delve further into the island's past. They have also found new objects and clues, each of which adds a piece to the puzzle. Several theories on their origins have been raised by the recent discovery of flood tunnels at Smith's Cove, which play a significant role in the history of the island. Some people think the original designers of the Money Pit constructed them to safeguard their wealth. We're attempting to identify the boundaries of the paved area, since some people think they were created later by treasure hunters attempting to outdo their rivals. Numerous people, including treasure hunters and researchers, have taken notice of stone inscriptions that contain letters, numbers, and symbols. Some researchers think these symbols are codes or signs from the island's original inhabitants. Others, however, think that visitors or treasure hunters created them to leave their imprint on the island. The early 20th century building of a coffer dam at Smith's Cove, which managed water flow and made it simpler to reach previously flooded areas, also added to the island's rich history. The finding of wooden platforms and structures during the coffer dam's construction begs the question of their function and whether they were a part of previous archaeological digs or the island's past. Fans have expressed their unhappiness with the lack of conclusive results, since each season frequently ends on a cliffhanger, despite promising a breakthrough. Another issue has been Rick's unwillingness to leave the hunt. He has often stated that he is ready to end it if it continues, but his behavior suggests otherwise. As a counterpoint to Rick's sentimental style, Marty Lagena frequently raises concerns about the viability and cost of their ideas. Rick is seen as a divisive figure by the public due to his enthusiasm for the treasure hunt, with others appreciating it. Others perceive it as tenacity that verges on delusion, as viewers become increasingly frustrated with the search's dwindling returns. Before long, the momentum will slow down and eventually stop. The Oak Island tale captivated Marty Lagena, an engineer and businessman, and his brother Rick, a former Reader Digest reader. In the 1960s, they developed a love for buried treasures and antiquated relics, and in the early 2000s they made their boyhood dream come true. When Marty, a brilliant engineer and businessman, acquired a majority stake in Oak Island Tours, the firm that controlled a large portion of the island, it was more than just a business choice. It was a dream come true. Because of his experience as an engineer, Marty approaches the treasure hunt with a logical and scientific attitude. He is aware that locating anything important on the island takes meticulous planning, patience, and occasionally luck. The excitement of the chase and the chance that they could discover something that could alter our perception of history are what motivate Marty. Lagena employs cutting-edge technologies like seismic testing, ground-penetrating radar, and sonar imaging to explore the island and unearth the truth concealed beneath it. His mission is not only to find treasure, but also to comprehend a piece of history that has been deeply buried. On Oak Island, Marty Lagena and his group have been looking for hidden treasures, especially in the Money Pit, a deep pit renowned for its potential. Treasures. Despite the difficulties of dealing with flooding and the high standards set by the team, they have been able to delve deeper than anyone had previously done. Some of the intriguing discoveries they have made include human bones, ancient coins from the 17th century, and odd carvings and symbols connected to the Freemasons, a well-known organization with its own towel. These connections have given rise to new theories regarding the Freemasons or Knights Templar, a medieval group with ties to the island. Over the years, people have believed that certain symbols in old documents suggest a connection between Oak Island and organizations like the Freemasons or Knights. However, the search for answers is not over, because every discovery raises more questions than answers. The team's focus on discovering the truth about Oak Island has sparked new conversations about hidden connections and clues. The notion that the treasure might be a part of a more extensive and captivating tale involving strong, covert organizations gives the Oak Island tale a completely new depth for treasure hunters, suggesting that they might be investigating a question that has the potential to change the course of history rather than merely searching for gold or jewels. Marty Lagena and his group are embarking on a worldwide treasure hunt in an effort to unearth a secret that has been suppressed for generations. The ongoing hunt has taken a toll on Marty's physical and mental well-being, raising concerns that he may be leaving the program. Rick, Lagena fans are worried as Marty's brother plays a bigger part in the program. Younger members, such as his son Alex Lagena, take on more because Marty is transparent about how difficult the treasure search is and intends to concentrate more on planning. Active roles. Since his early years, engineering student Alex has participated in the Oak Island treasure hunt, contributing fresh perspectives and challenging conventional wisdom. Reactions to this position change have been divided, with some fans believing he is preparing to take the lead in the treasure search. In 2019, strange rumors regarding the Oakland Island team, such as the likelihood that Alex Lagena passed away during filming, started to circulate as others questioned the squad's future. Alex still plays a vital part in the Oak Island quest and oversees his responsibilities at the family's Michigan winery, Maury Vineyards. That there were 4 or 5 cuts on each stake, which led them to the conclusion that Oak Island was formerly comprised of 2 islands that were intentionally connected together by the triangle-shaped swamp. After pulling one up together, Dan and Fred chopped off the tip, and then they sent it out to be carbon dated separately, with a margin of error of 85 years. It was established that the value of the carbon date was 1575. It is important to note that the discovery of a survey stake is noteworthy, since it gives evidence that the marsh was constructed in the first place. A member of the team named Marty Lagena discovers one of the survey stakes and is astonished by both its appearance and its age. Because of its appearance, she has an interest in the stake, but she is not particularly enthusiastic about it. However, she is fascinated by the way the stake has been preserved and how it has decayed. A significant amount of emphasis is placed in the story on the significance of discovering artifacts such as this, which have the potential to offer solutions to the mysteries that surround the swamp and the people who dwell there. Rick Lagena and his crew are currently conducting an investigation into the enigmatic triangle-shaped swamp that is located on Oak Island. Their goal is to find new evidence that the swamp was created by humans. Given that they have access to Fred Nolan's land, it is possible that they will be able to collect other significant clues. With the help of his team, Rick is currently digging a shaft in order to ascertain the boundaries of the paved area, which they have discovered to be a collection of rocks. In spite of the fact that the paved area was not discovered until relatively recently, it is very suggestive of the fact that it contains information or hinting. Given that the water is rushing in at such a rapid rate, it is reasonable to assume that the water would have been gone. The discovery of the paved portion comes as a surprise to the team, yet it does not provide any answers to the issues of who, why, or how things came to be. As was anticipated, the paved sector has proven out to be a more challenging puzzle than the team had anticipated. Rick, along with the rest of his team, is ecstatic about the discovery, and they are also excited about the idea of performing additional study. When Rick and his family are traveling through New York, Rick finds out that his close friend Zena Halper, who was also a researcher and author, has passed away. She had left him the products of her life's work, which included a great trove of books and records that appear to connect the Oak Island mystery to events of the Knights Templar as far back as the 12th century. She had given these things to him. Rick is overjoyed to learn that the job she has been doing throughout her life will continue, since she doesn't want it to end. One of the things that was discovered is a copy of the Krona record, which is a deposition that was taken by an English temp KN. This document detailed a journey to the New World that lasted for a year and was called Antora. It is because of this that Rick's mother is conducting her studies. In conclusion, Rick, Marty, and the rest of the crew are looking for further proof that the swamp was created by humans, and they are working toward making a significant breakthrough. In addition, they are enthusiastic about the possibility of conducting additional study and making discoveries on Oak Island. Rick makes a discovery of a copy of the Cremona record, which is a compilation of maps and journal passages that are said to have been written by Ralph Duddle, a Templar knight who lived in the 12th century, more than 3 centuries before Christopher Columbus made his first arrival in North America. The manuscript details Tully's travel to the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, as well as a Templar mission to the New World in the year 1178. The individual who is speaking is of the opinion that the Cremona paper is pertinent and accurate, and they suggest the establishment of a study center in order to collect information and commit to solving the Oak Island mystery. The speaker is of the opinion that Zena's legacy is being cared for in a responsible manner on Oak Island, And the concept of a research center is fitting at this time, because it will require some investigation to differentiate between fact and fiction, in order to ensure that they differentiate between fact and fiction and continue to investigate the mystery of Oak Island. The speaker highlights how important it is for the team to continue their inquiry and to follow up on the research work that they have been doing.